Apparently, some idiots tried to rob John Wick while he was in a gas station convenience store and learned the hard way he wasn't going.
4 masked robbers stormed a gas station in southeast Houston, met by a customer who was also armed.
That customer opened fire, hitting 3 of the robbers. An innocent bystander was also injured during the gunfire. This happened around 8 p.m. at the Circle K Valero near the South Loop and Park Place.
This all started when those 5 robbery suspects walked into the store last night. They came up here, one of them waiting out in a getaway car, while 4 others walked in the store with masks on and began demanding customers of their belongings at gunpoint. The suspects are believed to be young men and possibly juveniles. They say the suspects walked in there and gunfire was, and at some point a man inside the store pulled out his gun. That was a customer. Gunfire was exchanged, and APD says 3 out of the 4 suspects inside the store were hit by bullets. An innocent bystander was also struck by gunfire, but it's unclear who shot them.
If this video doesn't destroy the high capacity magazine ban narrative, I don't know what will. This dude shot 3 out of 4 robbers by himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of the Second Amendment. I don't have confirmation, but I highly doubt he used a limited capacity magazine to do it. All the people who say we need to ban so-called high capacity magazines, ask yourself this question. How would a high capacity magazine ban have helped this person in this situation? If anything, it would have hurt him. Even if these robbers showed up with limited capacity magazine, there's still 4 dudes with guns against 1 good guy with a gun. Yet, he was still able to turn the tables on the robbers. And it wasn't because he had a limited capacity magazine. That said, there aren't a lot of people who would be willing to take on 1 robber with a gun, much less 4. I have a couple of friends who aren't exactly pro-gun. A couple days ago, one of those friends said in our group chat that though he's been held up at gunpoint a couple of times in his life, he believes not having a gun on him is what saved his life. In his mind, simply complying with armed robbers is better than, as he put it, trying to be Rambo and then getting shot. I believe there are 3 types of people when it comes to being robbed at gunpoint. The always compliers, the tactical compliers, and those who are never going to go. The always complier is a hope strategist who thinks as long as they do what the criminal says, the criminal won't harm them. The tactical complier is a self-defense opportunist. If the criminals get the drop on a tactical complier, they will comply until the criminal slips up and gives them an opportunity to turn the tables on them by either pulling their gun and shooting or fighting back any way possible once given the opportunity. Unlike the I'm never going types. These type of people take being robbed at gunpoint as a personal disrespect that is almost worse than death. So they don't care if they have a gun or not. The moment a criminal tries to rob them, they are not going because they rather die in a fight than to comply and get robbed. My friend is clearly an always complier, but if I was a betting man, the guy in this video was a tactical complier because he didn't shoot immediately. He waited until he found an opportunity.
4 of those suspects entered the store. When they entered the store, they were masked up. The 4 entered the store and started robbing the customers inside the convenience store at gunpoint. While the robbery was taking place, we believe another citizen that was inside the store was armed, and he proceeded to discharge his firearm at the suspects. At that time, the suspects, 3 of the suspects that had entered the store out of the 4 were hit by gunfire. And we have what we think is a 4th individual who was an innocent bystander in the store who was also hit by gunfire.
Now, I'm sure there are some people who will have argued if he would have just complied, that bystander would never have been shot. And I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like victim blaming. Because the way I see it, if the criminals didn't decide to rob these people, there wouldn't be a situation where a bystander could be shot in the first place. Besides, it's not like there aren't cases where criminals still shoot people even after they complied with their demands.
These 2 teenagers are accused of brutally robbing and murdering 67-year-old Jorge Romero Gil. They say the teens went up to Romero Gil demanding his belongings. And then even after he complied, one of the suspects shot him.
The reason why I like to consider myself a tactical complier is because some people just want the thrill of taking a life, and the robbery is just an added value for them. This is why I don't give anyone who is willing to put a gun in my face and rob me the benefit of the doubt. I assume if you're willing to threaten me with death to take my property, you're also willing to take my life even after I give you my property. So I carry a gun so that if I do find myself in a situation like this and I have no other choice, I have an option to meet force with equal or better force to protect my life or the people that I care about. Now, considering all of this, I've taken my fair share of defense courses to realize that these types of situations are not easy and things aren't always as clear-cut as you may think. Don't believe me? After you finish watching this video, I want you to watch the video I did with USCCA called How These Defensive Gun Uses Could Land You in Prison. And you'll realize quickly how complicated a self-defense shooting can be. And then you'll quickly realize why I'm always advising people who carry a gun for self-defense or have a gun at the house for home defense or carries or owns any type of weapon for self-defense should be looking into getting a membership like USCCA, which will give you access to self-defense insurance so that if you're ever in a self-defense situation, you have the emotional, financial, and legal support and resources necessary to get through it. So if you want to learn more about how complex a self-defense situation can be, watch the video I mentioned. And if you simply want to learn more about what you get with the USCCA membership, and it's a lot, I posted a link in the description section of this video.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm is going to do a phenomenal job of suppressing this message. So please share this video with as many people as you can so we can beat the algorithm and get our two-way message out to the masses. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment and hit the bell and subscribe button.